Anyway, in updated news, David has now finally been arrested in connection to the murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Missing girl found dead in singer David's Tesla. We now know police have searched a home in the Hollywood Hills where David had been living.
The David investigation has taken a turn. Prosecutors revealed that David used a sharp object to take out Celeste, and he was meticulous with his work to the point that he cut off one of her fingers that had his name tattooed on it. But now David's not just guilty of allegedly Celeste, because prosecutors revealed that they wiretapped his phone and learned that he has massive amounts of disturbing material on his device. Unfortunately, it's not just Celeste who is David's victim, and now it looks like this case has just grown much bigger than anyone expected.
The artist behind Romantic Homicide is now facing a real one. David Burke just went from TikTok stardom to a Los Angeles courtroom. And the latest 48-hour update has made this case 100 times worse. If you don't know who David is, here's the short version. He was a teenager in Texas making music from his bedroom. In 2022, a song called Romantic Homicide blew up on TikTok and turned him into one of the fastest rising names in alternative pop. 2 EPs, a debut album called Withered that hit number 13 on the Billboard 200, a world tour, nearly 4 million TikTok followers. The kid was on his way, but while his album was climbing the charts, something much darker was happening in the background. On September 8th, 2025, it all came crashing down in a Hollywood impound lot. A tow yard worker called the LAPD about a smell coming from an impounded Tesla. The car was registered to David. Inside the front trunk, officers found 2 bags. Inside those bags were the remains of a 14-year-old girl named Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Authorities later confirmed she passed away due to multiple serious injuries. Prosecutors say David had been in an inappropriate and illegal relationship with Celeste since she was 13. She was a runaway from Riverside County. On April 23, 2025, the exact same day his world tour tickets went on pre-sale, Celeste walked into his Hollywood Hills home. She never walked out. Prosecutors believe she threatened to expose the situation, which would have ended his career. They claim he was responsible for what happened. Then, roughly 2 weeks later, he attempted to get rid of the evidence. Then he left her in the trunk of his Tesla, which sat abandoned on a Hollywood street for weeks before it was ticketed, towed, and eventually opened. And while everything was unfolding, David was on stage. He performed at the Fillmore in Minneapolis the day after the discovery. He was still touring, still performing, still smiling for cameras. On April 16, 2026, police arrested him in Los Angeles. 4 days later, the DA filed multiple serious charges involving a minor and actions after the incident. The severity of these charges means one thing. If convicted, he faces life without parole or the death penalty. He pleaded not guilty. His defense attorney Blair Burke said the evidence will prove he didn't do it. Now, wait, it gets worse. Because what just came out in the last 48 hours turned this case completely upside down. On Wednesday, April 23rd, exactly 1 year to the day that prosecutors say everything happened, he was back in court. Orange jumpsuit, handcuffs. And during that hearing, Deputy DA Beth Silverman told the judge something that nobody saw coming. When police searched David's iPhone and iCloud account, they found a significant amount of extremely disturbing and illegal material involving minors. On his phone, in his cloud. Prosecutors didn't say whether Celeste was in any of the files, but the damage was done. The courtroom went silent. The internet exploded. Silverman also revealed that 3 separate grand juries have heard evidence in this case. Not 1, 3. She said prosecutors have collected 40 terabytes of data. To put that in perspective, that's like looking through 10 million photos just to find the truth. She also confirmed that a wiretap was conducted on David during the investigation last year. They were listening to his calls. The report was unsealed the day before, on April 22nd, 26 pages. It described severe injuries to Celeste's torso and stomach, damage to internal organs, and confirmed that her body had been in that condition for months before it was found. The family's attorney released a statement saying Celeste's parents are absolutely devastated and asked for privacy. They did not attend the hearing. David's friend Neo Langston, who was subpoenaed to testify before the grand jury, was arrested after he failed to show up. He eventually testified for 40 minutes. He denied involvement, but he hinted he knew more than he was saying. David's tour manager cooperated immediately. The judge set the preliminary hearing for May 1st. That's when a judge will decide if there's enough evidence to send this to trial. The defense pushed for that date to come fast, which is unusual. Burke says they want to see the evidence because it will clear their client. Prosecutors say they're still processing the mountain of digital data and need time to hand it over. A check-in hearing is set for April 29th. David is currently being held without bail at the LA Men's Central Jail. He wrote a song called Romantic Homicide and became famous. Now he's at the center of a real-life case that has shocked everyone. A 14-year-old girl is gone. Her remains were found in his car. Illegal material involving minors was found on his phone. And in 6 days, a judge will decide if this goes to trial. May 1st. Mark the date. If you made it this far, drop a comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.